Hello everyone, happy new month to you, and I welcome you to another video tutorial. In this video we shall be looking at the GBPUSD together using technical parameters to identify potential trading opportunity to take advantage of at the beginning of this week. Well, since this is going to be a follow-up detail to my previous analysis on the GBPUSD, I would want us to have a quick review of the key moments that we had during the course of last week's trading session. And talking about last week, we saw how the week started with a consolidation phase here, where price was trapped within the range 1.22500 level and the 1.22300 area. And you all know what we look out for whenever we have this kind of simple setup. We want to either see a breakout or breakdown of the channel for a trading opportunity. And with the situation of things that same day, we had the breakout of that resistant line at the 1.22500 level to trigger our first buy position for the week. And we continue to ride the move all the way up as we anticipated another breakout of the 1.22800 level for another potential entry in this market. We saw the position triggered here, and we continue to ride the move all the way into the 1.23300 area before we started seeing some selling pressure resume during the early hours of our Tuesday's trading session. And during my normal YouTube morning live session, we anticipated the breakdown of the 1.22100 level with the hopes that we might be seeing some selling opportunities in this market. Now, we saw the situation here on that Tuesday where our sell stop order was triggered just right below the 1.22100 level, but this sell momentum didn't last long as we saw our price action took us out of that position at the worst case scenario at break even. Then we continued to monitor price action here. This was on Tuesday. We hope that we didn't have the privilege of joining this one as this happened in the middle of the night. And then we continue to answer. Okay, we had our first stop loss here on Wednesday after price action took us out after we had a trigger below the 1.22100 level. So we had the chance to buy again above the 131.700. Okay, no, not this one. Okay, we saw sell momentum. Then we anticipated the breakout of the 1.235 on Thursday. It got triggered, price action moved significantly well, breakout of another resistant line at the 1.23620 level. Though this moved a little bit, but sell pressure came in one more time. And at the end of the week, we had a sell position running after price action broke down the 1.23650. As you can see here, two positions running in profit in that regard. In fact, it was quite an ups and down roller coasters of buys and sell for us last week, but we were able to make some couple of bucks on this one. For those who would like to have a quick review of this personally with your own self, you might want to I will be dropping the link to this commentary in the comment section of this video. And if you are watching this from my YouTube channel, you will be seeing this at the top right side of your screen right now. And with that being said here, I will be diving right into the daily time frame where we want to be taking a fresh new perspective on what our expectations could be like for this week. And the first thing I did here is to look at the daily time frame, and obviously if we take a zoom out of this current market structure here, you will see that it has been bearish for the last couple of years now, and we have a bearish trend line after connecting the series of lower highs here to emphasize the strength of the sellers at this particular point in time. However, if we zoom into trading activities between the month of October and now, you can see that it is quite obvious that price action has actually been bullish. But something interesting happened during the month of December last year. We saw how as soon as price got into that 1.24500 level here, we begin to see selling pressure, negating all attempt by the buyers to break out of that structure. The same thing also happened here during the month of January. We saw continued selling pressure around that area. And look at what happened here last week. We saw as soon as price got into that level, we begin to see some selling pressure resume, and in fact the candle on Friday closed in the form of a shooting star candle, which is an indication that sellers are still present at this particular juncture in this market. And obviously, as you can see here, price has been trading within a range for over 4 to 5 months now to further emphasize the indecision in this market. Now, the next question we want to be asking for this week is, are we going to be buying or selling the GBPUSD? Are we going to be seeing price action break out of the 1.24500 level to trigger a trend continuation to the upside? Or are we going to be seeing reversal pattern below the 1.24500 to respect that resistance line one more time, probably to bring price back into the trend line to incite another wave to the upside, or break down the trend line into that support line of that consolidation phase that we have been witnessing here in the last 4 to 5 months. So these are the things we are going to be looking at, and in order to be able to position ourselves in such a way that we can catch any of these opportunities that might come in the coming week, I have identified a simple setup on the 4 hours time frame, which I think we can use to guide our trading activity for the week. But before I go into the details on the lower time frame, I want us to have a quick review of the economic calendar, as we also want to keep tabs with the fundamental event. Obviously, these events are a form of catalyst for price action, as whatever technical position we are taking here, we need some liquidity to drive price action in that direction that we are positioning ourselves for. So in that regard, I want us to look at the economic calendar here, and in fact I was able to pull out some couple of events that we want to be looking forward to today. So we are going to be focusing on events that will be affecting both the USD and the pound sterling. And if you look at what is expected this week, the first event is coming up on Monday, April 3rd, and we have the ISM manufacturing PMI, which gives us the index, the business condition in the US manufacturing sector. It's a very significant economic indicator which we are going to be looking forward to. Then we also have the ADP employment change, which gives us the measure of the change in the number of employed personnel in the US. And this is also another event we want to be looking forward to. Then also on that same day, we have the ISM services PMI, which shows the business conditions in the US non-manufacturing sector. Another high impact event too as well. And then on Friday, we have the almighty non-farm payroll, which is the monthly changes in the payroll. It's a job. It gives us is an indicator to the new jobs created during the previous month. So these are events we are going to be looking forward to this week, and obviously major players in the market will be anticipating this event, and we shall be seeing the reflection of this anticipation reflect on the chart as price action. So with the informations we have gathered so far now, I want us to scale down to that 4 hours time frame where I told us all earlier that I have a simple setup to use to guide our trading activity for this week. Now, on the 4 hours time frame, what I did here was to take into consideration what has been happening here in the last 3 weeks. And if you look at the structure we have here, it is quite obvious that price action has been bullish, And to further emphasize the strength of the buyers in this market, I was able to connect a series of higher lows here to give us this resultant bullish trend line, which has been supporting this momentum in the last 3 weeks. But something interesting happened here. If you look at the impulsive move since the beginning of this trend, you will see that the impulse leg gradually decreases with time. And for me, this is a sign that the bullish momentum is gradually losing that steam. As you can see, the momentum is gradually reducing at every moment. Can you see what happened last week? It finally reduced to something. How many pips is that? It's finally reduced to about 120 pips compared to the beginning of this trend here, which is about 400 pips. So you can see that the momentum is gradually reducing over time in this market. So what we did here, what I did here, let me zoom in so that you can see what is happening. So what I did here is to focus on what happened last week here. And if you notice vividly, you will see how as soon as price tested the 1.24200 level, we begin to see selling pressure. We saw a rejection of that area. So it's a sign that buyers found it difficult to break out of that level. And to further emphasize the strength of the sellers in this area, we can see that candle there on, was it not on Friday, closed in the form of a shooting star candle, which from a technical standpoint is a strong signal that sellers are very present in that area. Now, coupled with this structure here is that breakdown of that bullish trend line, which happened to be the first time price action will be breaking down that bullish trend line in the last 3 weeks, which further emphasize that the bullish trend line may no longer be strong enough to continue to hold this bullish momentum. So if this is going to be the case this week, this area here will be our center of focus as we have a beautiful confluence within that bullish trend line and the 1.23500 level, which has been a major determinant of price action throughout the course of last week. So going into the new week right now, if price action continues to trade right below the 1.23500 level, we would have no choice than to look out for selling opportunities. So we might likely see a situation where price will climb up to do a retest of structure, selling pressure resumes, and then we want to be selling the GBPUSD. However, in as much as we are looking out for selling opportunities here, we cannot ignore the potentials of the buyers here. Actually, since the beginning of last month, we have been witnessing bullish momentum here. So there is a likelihood that this could turn out to be a false breakdown too as well. And if that is going to be the case, I would like to see price action take out the 1.24200 level, taking out all the sell positions here to give me a confirmation to buy. So that's the only thing I want to be looking out for to buy the GBPUSD for this week. So breakout retest, then I will be thinking of adding more position. So these are my views here on the GBPUSD for this week, and be rest assured that I will be jumping right in the comment section of this video on my TradingView platform to give you an update on what my expectations are after monitoring how participants in this market will be reacting to the structure here during the early hours of the week. I hope this video has been of immense help in making your personal decision on the GBPUSD for this week, and if it truly did, kindly support this project by clicking the like button. You would also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Dark Sherry so that you don't miss out on every update and commentary I normally share, which happens on all of my videos. Thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you right in the comment section on Monday as we get prepared for the new week. Do have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.